The stars shone brightly above the fleet of human ships as they moved through the silent emptiness of space. Captain Elena Ward stood on the bridge of the Aegis, her eyes scanning the endless black. The war had been long, and humanity had fought bravely against the Zaldar, a powerful alien alliance. For years, humans had thought they could trust their allies, the Vyrin, a race of humanoid aliens who had promised peace and support. But that trust was about to be shattered. "Captain, we are receiving a transmission from the Vyrin High Command," said Lieutenant Raoul, his voice steady but tense. Elena's heart skipped a beat. She had hoped for good news, maybe reinforcements, supplies, or a safe path to their next colony. Instead, the transmission flickered onto the screen, showing the Vyrin Council's leader, a tall figure with silver skin and sharp eyes. "Humans," the Vyrin leader said, voice cold and unfeeling, "your loyalty has been unnecessary. Your colonies are now under our control. Resistance is futile." Elena froze. What does this mean?" she whispered. Raoul's hand shook slightly as he gripped the console. "It means they've turned on us, Captain. They betrayed us." Chaos erupted on the bridge. Alarms blared, red lights flashing across every panel. The Aegis shook as nearby stations began exploding. The Vyrin had coordinated attacks on all major human colonies at once. Cities, research stations, and defense bases, all being destroyed with terrifying precision. Elena clenched her fists. Her mind raced. Battle stations. All units. Prepare for evasive maneuvers. We will survive this, no matter what. But inside, she felt the cold edge of fear. Humanity had been confident, trusting the Vyrin. And now, that trust had turned into ashes. In the command center below, entire human fleets were being obliterated. Explosions lit up the darkness of space like deadly fireworks. Families, scientists, and soldiers, all caught in the crossfire of betrayal. Meanwhile, on the ground, colonies screamed in panic. Sirens wailed as humans ran through smoke-filled streets. Holographic emergency messages flashed everywhere, warning people of incoming Vyrin attacks. People had nowhere to hide. The alien betrayal was total. Yet, amidst the chaos, small acts of bravery emerged. Soldiers covered civilians. Pilots risked their lives to save damaged ships, and leaders like Elena refused to give in to despair. Humanity was losing, yes, but it was not yet defeated. Elena moved quickly through the bridge, issuing orders. "We will regroup at the Orion cluster. Evade the main Vyrin fleet. Every life counts. We survive and then we fight back." Her voice was firm, but her mind was heavy. She knew the odds were against them. The Vyrin fleet was vast, well-prepared, and merciless. Yet, the fire of human defiance burned brightly. Humans were not just soldiers. They were thinkers, dreamers, and survivors. And betrayal could not extinguish that fire. As the Aegis slipped through the shadows of space, Elena caught a glimpse of the destruction the Vyrin had caused. Colonies that had once thrived were reduced to burning ruins. Space stations, once buzzing with life, now floated as shattered husks. And somewhere in the distance, the Vyrin fleet loomed, like predators circling their prey. Elena's second-in-command, Lieutenant Vyrin, approached her. His expression was grim. "Captain, the communication array is down. We cannot contact Earth or the outer colonies. They've cut us off completely." Elena nodded. "Then we moved silently. They think they have destroyed us, but they have only made us stronger. Humanity will not bow. We will survive, and we will take back what is ours." A young pilot, barely 20, stepped forward. "Captain, what about the civilians?" His voice trembled. "They're everywhere. We can't save everyone." Elena looked at him, her eyes sharp but calm. "Then we save as many as we can. Every life we protect is a victory. We fight for humanity, no matter how dark the night seems." As the fleet slipped through asteroid fields and avoided patrols, the human survivors knew one terrible truth. The betrayal had not just struck their fleets. It had shattered trust itself. The Vyrin, who were once friends, were now enemies, and their betrayal would shape the future of every human alive. But somewhere deep inside Elena, a spark of determination flared. Humanity had been pushed to the brink, but it was not finished. Not yet. The Aegis and its survivors vanished into the shadows of space, carrying with them the pain of betrayal and the burning promise of revenge. Humanity had been betrayed, but humanity would strike back. The cold darkness of space surrounded the human fleet as it slipped past Vyrin patrols. Captain Elena Ward stood on the bridge of the Aegis, staring at the stars. Humanity had been betrayed, but they were alive. For now, the fleet was small, a shadow of its former strength. Many ships had been destroyed in the surprise attack, and countless lives had been lost. But among the survivors, hope still burned. Elena turned to Lieutenant Raoul. Set course for the Delta 7 Nebula. It's remote, they won't find us there easily. Raoul nodded, typing rapidly. Coordinates set, Captain. But it's a harsh system. No atmosphere, dangerous radiation, and almost no resources. We'll have to be careful. Elena's jaw tightened. We survive. That's all that matters right now. The journey to the hidden system was tense. Every small sensor reading caused alarms. Every shadow of a distant ship sparked fear. The humans knew the Vyrin would be searching, hunting for any sign of life. But even in fear, they held on to courage. When the fleet finally arrived at the Delta 7 Nebula, the ship slipped into dense clouds of gas and debris. The visibility was almost zero. It was a dangerous place, but it was perfect for hiding. Here, humanity could breathe for a moment and gather strength. On the ground of a small rocky moon, the survivors began setting up makeshift shelters. Tents, mobile bases, and camouflage technology turned the barren landscape into a temporary refuge. Humans who had lost everything found each other here. Families, scientists, engineers, and soldiers. Among the survivors was Dr. Leora Chan, a brilliant scientist who had once worked on advanced defense systems. She now moved through the camp, examining salvage equipment. We need to gather every piece of technology we can. Even small tools can help us survive and fight back. Elena approached her. Leora, can we repair the communication array? We need to know what the Vyrin are planning. Dr. Chan shook her head. Not yet, Captain. The main relay is destroyed. For now, we can only watch and wait. In the shadow of the moon's cliffs, small groups of humans trained in secret. Soldiers practiced with weapons. Pilots flew small scout ships, and engineers worked tirelessly to rebuild damaged technology. It was a slow and difficult process, but every small success gave hope. Elena walked among her people, offering encouragement. We are still here, she told them. They think we are weak, that we are finished. But we are not. Humanity survives because we fight, because we care for each other, and because we never give up. Night on the moon was cold and dark. Some survivors huddled in the shelters, telling stories of home, of loved ones lost, and of dreams they still hoped to protect. Others stared at the stars, wondering how long it would take before the Vyrin found them, or if they ever would. Meanwhile, the scouts returned from patrols, reporting small alien ships nearby. The Vyrin were searching, but they had not yet discovered the hidden survivors. The humans knew that this calm would not last. Lieutenant Vyrin approached Elena on the bridge of the main shelter. Captain, we need a plan. We can't hide forever. Supplies are limited, and morale will not hold if we just wait. Elena nodded. I know. That's why we gather information. We learn their patterns. Every weakness we find is a chance to fight back. Patience now will save countless lives later. The survivors began working in shifts, repairing ships, gathering resources, and scanning for enemy activity. Children were taught how to stay safe, while older humans helped with strategy and planning. Humanity was small here, but was alive, and survival demanded ingenuity. Dr. Chan discovered an old alien probe drifting near the nebula. She examined it carefully, eyes widening. This is important. It's a scout device. If we can decode its signals, we might learn where the Vyrin are heading next. Elena's heart raced. Then we do it. Every piece of knowledge is a weapon now. Every secret we uncover is a step toward revenge. Days turned into weeks, and the survivors slowly adjusted to life in hiding. Trust and unity grew stronger among them. They shared stories, memories, and hopes for the future. The betrayal had hurt deeply, but it had also ignited something fierce. a determination to rise again. One night, as Elena watched the twin moons rise over the jagged cliffs, she whispered to herself, "They think they have destroyed us, but they have only made us stronger. And one day, humanity will strike back. One day, they will pay." In the darkness of the Delta 7 Nebula, humanity learned an important truth. Survival alone was not enough. To honor those lost, to protect those who remained, and to reclaim what had been stolen, they would need a rise, united and clever. And so, hidden in the shadows, the survivors began to plan. The first sparks of resistance were being born, and with them, the promise of revenge. The hidden human camp on the rocky moon of Delta 7 was quiet but tense. Every survivor knew the Vyrin were still out there, hunting, waiting for a chance to finish humanity. Yet within that tension, a spark of hope was growing. Humanity was alive, and now it would fight smart. Captain Elena Ward stood on the bridge of the main shelter, studying a holographic map of the galaxy. Red dots marked the Vyrin fleet, moving in patterns they hoped no one noticed. Green dots showed human survivor clusters, fragile but determined. "We can't fight them head-on," Elena said. "We are too few and they are too strong. But they have weaknesses. Everyone has weaknesses." Lieutenant Vyrin leaned over her shoulder. "Our scouts found something, Captain. Some of their supply stations are lightly guarded, especially near the outer rim. If we strike there first, we can gather resources and send a message. Humanity is not gone." Elena nodded. "Good. We do it carefully. No unnecessary risks. Every strike must teach them fear, without losing our people. This is how the plan begins." Dr. Leora Chan approached, holding the alien probe she found weeks ago. "I've managed to decode part of its signals," she said. "We can track their supply routes and communication relays. If we time our attacks carefully, we can hit them where it hurts most." Elena's eyes lit up. "Then we are ready. This is the start of something bigger. Humanity will not just survive, we will fight back. Every move we make now is part of a larger plan. Patience, strategy, and courage." The survivors began their preparations. Engineers worked day and night to repair old human ships, modifying them with salvaged alien technology. Weapons were upgraded, shields reinforced, and small stealth fighters were built for surprise attacks. Young pilots trained in simulators, learning the art of evasion and precise strikes. Soldiers practiced ambushes and infiltration techniques. Every survivor, no matter their age or role, contributed to the plan. Elena walked among them, speaking with every group. "This is not just a fight for survival," she said. "It is a fight for humanity's future. Every act of courage counts. Every life saved, every victory, no matter how small, brings us closer to the day we reclaim what was stolen from us." Meanwhile, scouts returned from dangerous patrols. They had observed the Vyrin supply routes, noting weaknesses and patterns. They reported areas of vulnerability, lightly guarded stations, and patrol blind spots. Every piece of information was a small victory. One evening, Elena gathered her closest commanders. Around the holographic map, they began plotting their first strike. The target was a Vyrin supply station near the edge of the Orion cluster. It was lightly guarded, but crucial for enemy logistics. "This strike will not destroy them," Elena said, "but will remind them that humanity is alive. We hit fast, hard, and then disappear. Precision is everything. Failure is not an option." Lieutenant Raoul nodded. "Our pilots are ready. The stealth fighters can reach the station undetected. We can sabotage their supply lines and return before they even know we were there," Dr. Chan added. "And we can use the alien technology we captured to create confusion in their systems. Their own machines will betray them." As the plan was finalized, the tension in the camp grew. Every survivor knew the risks. Many had lost loved ones in the betrayal, and fear still lingered. But the thought of striking back, of taking even a small piece of revenge, gave them strength. Night fell over Delta 7. The twin moons cast long shadows across the rocky landscape. Soldiers sharpened their skills, pilots checked their ships, and engineers double-checked every piece of technology. The humans waited, silent but alert. Elena stood on the highest cliff, looking at the stars. She whispered to herself, "We were betrayed, but we are not defeated. This is the beginning. The Vyrin will learn the name of humanity. They will learn that we are clever, resourceful, and relentless. And they will fear us." In the darkness, a small scout ship slipped away from the camp, moving silently through the asteroid field toward the Vyrin supply station. Inside, the young pilot gripped the controls, heart pounding, but determination burning bright. Humanity's first strike had begun. The plan was in motion. Every move, every attack, was part of a larger strategy. Humanity was no longer hiding. They were preparing to reclaim what had been stolen. The Vyrin would soon learn that betrayal came with consequences. Humanity was patient, clever, and now dangerously determined. The darkness of space was broken only by the faint glow of distant stars as the stealth fighters approached the Vyrin supply station. Captain Elena Ward watched from the command console on the Aegis, her heart steady but tense. This was humanity's first real strike since the betrayal, a small but powerful message. Stealth Team Alpha is in position, Lieutenant Raoul reported. His voice was calm, but his knuckles were white on the console. Elena nodded. Good. Remember, speed and precision. Strike hard, then vanish. Minimal risk to civilians and our people. Let's remind them humanity is still here. Inside the lead fighter, pilot Tessa Kwan's hands moved over controls with practiced precision. She was barely 20, but her nerves were steel. Entering station perimeter, she whispered into the comms. Engaging stealth mode. We move like shadows. The Vyrin supply station floated in the void, a massive construct of steel and energy fields. Though it seemed powerful, human scouts had identified weak points in the shields and key supply pods. It was a perfect target for a precise strike. The fighters slipped past patrol drones, using asteroid debris for cover. Sensors picked up enemy activity, small patrol ships moving in predictable patterns. Tessa smiled grimly. Pattern confirmed. We move now. On the station, alarms suddenly blared as sensors detected small anomalies. But it was too late. The human stealth fighters had already reached the outer defenses, using captured alien technology to confuse the Vyrin systems. Turrets misfired, shields flickered, and panic rippled through the station. Engage! Elena's voice rang through the comms. Strike the supply pods. Explosions lit the darkness. Pods containing vital resources, energy cores, weapons, and food supplies were destroyed. The station shook, alarms blaring as the Vyrin struggled to regain control. Human pilots moved with precise coordination, avoiding fire, striking quickly, and retreating before reinforcements could arrive. Back at the Aegis, the command crew watched the strike unfold. We've hit them hard, Raoul said, eyes glued to the screen. Supply lines disrupted. They won't be able to replace what's lost immediately. Elena clenched her fists. And that's just the beginning. Humanity is alive, and they will remember that. One small strike can ignite hope across all our hidden colonies. On the station, the Vyrin were frantic. Their communication lines were hacked, supply pods destroyed, and morale shattered. Soldiers ran through corridors, trying to fix the damage, but every action the humans had planned worked perfectly. Tessa guided her fighter back toward the safe zone, dodging debris and enemy fire. Her partner, pilot Vyrin, followed closely, grinning through the comms. That was beautiful, he said. They didn't even see us coming. But the victory was not without sacrifice. One of the smaller stealth fighters, piloted by rookie Kai Maru, was caught in a shield malfunction and lost. Elena felt a pang of grief, but she quickly steadied herself. Every life mattered, yes, but this was war. Humanity had to survive, and victories like this were the first steps toward reclaiming their future. As the stealth team returned safely to Delta 7, cheers erupted among the hidden survivors. For the first time since the betrayal, humanity felt the thrill of victory. Hope burned brighter in every heart. Dr. Leora Chan examined the data from the strike. Not only did we destroy supplies, but we also captured intelligence. This gives us insight into their fleet movements, patrol schedules, and weaknesses. We can plan bigger strikes now. Elena looked out at the stars, her eyes burning with determination. They betrayed us. They thought they had destroyed us. But this shows them they underestimated humanity. One strike is small, but one spark can become a wildfire. We will rise, and we will take everything back. The survivors celebrated quietly, knowing this was only the beginning. The Vyrin would retaliate, and the next attacks would be more dangerous. But humanity had shown that courage, intelligence, and unity could overcome even the most powerful enemy. That night, under the twin moons of Delta 7, Elena stood on the cliffs watching the stars. She whispered, almost to herself, "We are not broken. We are alive. And soon they will know the true strength of humanity." The first strike had been a success, but the war was far from over. Humanity had tasted victory and learned that even against betrayal and overwhelming odds, they could fight back. The seeds of a rebellion had been planted, and the galaxy would soon feel the rise of a people who refused to bow. The victory at the Vyrin supply station had lifted human spirits, but the calm was fragile. Captain Elena Ward paced the bridge of the Aegis, studying the latest intelligence reports. The Vyrin were regrouping, and their response would be swift and deadly. "Captain, our scouts report unusual fleet movement near the Orion cluster," Lieutenant Raoul said. "They've deployed reinforcements and something new. Unknown ships, heavily armored and fast." Elena's eyes narrowed. "They've learned from our strike. They are not going to let us act again so easily." In the hidden base on Delta 7, humans worked tirelessly. Engineers repaired ships, soldiers trained in new combat techniques, and Dr. Leora-chan analyzed every scrap of captured alien technology. Amid the activity, she made a startling discovery. "Captain," Leora called, urgency in her voice. "We found something in the data from our first strike. A prototype weapon, a new Vyrin device. If we capture it, we could use it against them." Elena's heart raced. "How do we get it?" "It's heavily guarded," Leora admitted. "But there's a chance. They have a secondary testing station near the asteroid belt. Lightly defended, but dangerous. It's risky, but it might give us the edge we need." Elena turned to her commanders. "This is a turning point. We've struck, we've survived, and now we fight smart. We take what they think is untouchable. If we succeed, humanity gains the advantage. If we fail, well, we must not think of that. We will succeed." The plan was set. A small strike team would infiltrate the Vyrin testing station, seize the prototype, and escape. Scouts mapped every patrol route, noting blind spots and patterns. Pilots trained for perfect precision, and soldiers prepared for close-quarters combat. As night fell on Delta 7, the team launched. Stealth fighters glided through the asteroid field, avoiding detection. The station loomed ahead, massive and foreboding, but the humans moved like shadows, confident in their strategy. Inside the station, chaos erupted as the humans infiltrated the main chamber. Automated defenses misfired. Sensors were scrambled, and the strike team seized a prototype weapon, a sleek device of alien design, unlike anything humans had seen. "Got it!" Sergeant Wren yelled, holding the weapon. "Let's get out of here." But just as they were about to leave, alarms blared. The Vyrin had discovered the breach. Elite soldiers and automated drones swarmed the corridors. Elena's voice crackled over comms. "Stay calm. Follow the exit plan. Use the asteroid field for cover. We move fast or we don't move at all." The humans fought their way through, using every tactic they had learned. Explosions rocked the station as sabotage devices detonated, covering their escape. The prototype weapon was secure, and the strike team managed to flee into space, racing toward Delta 7. Back at the hidden base, cheers erupted as the team landed safely. They had captured the alien technology, a turning point indeed. Humanity now held a secret weapon that could shift the balance of power in their favor. But the victory was tempered with loss. Several pilots had been injured, and one fighter had been destroyed. Elena looked at her people, determination burning in her eyes. "We mourn the fallen, but we do not falter. Every step forward brings us closer to victory. This weapon gives us hope, and hope is as powerful as any army." Dr. Chan examined the device carefully. "It's more advanced than we imagined. With time, we can reverse engineer it, adapt it for our fleet. The Vyrin will not expect this. Elena turned to her officers. We've learned something important today. The Vyrin are strong, yes, but they are not unbeatable. We are clever, resourceful, and united, and that is something they cannot take from us. As the twin moons rose over the rocky cliffs of Delta 7, humans trained, repaired, and planned. Every survivor knew the coming days would be harder. The Vyrin would retaliate, and the next battle would test humanity's courage and ingenuity like never before. Elena stood on the cliff, staring at the stars. Her voice was soft but firm. They betrayed us. They struck without mercy, but we are not broken. This is our turning point. From now on, humanity does not just survive. We fight, we learn, and we strike back harder. The war is far from over, but the tide is beginning to turn. And in the shadows of space, the Vyrin fleet regrouped, unaware that humanity had taken the first step toward reclaiming their future. The hidden human base on Delta 7 buzzed with activity. The capture of the Vyrin prototype weapon had changed everything. For the first time since the betrayal, humanity had the chance to strike back in a way that could truly hurt the enemy. Captain Elena Ward stood on the bridge of the Aegis, staring at the holographic map of the Vyrin fleet. Red dots covered star systems, marking enemy positions. Her finger hovered over a cluster near the Orion cluster, the perfect target for humanity's counterattack. We've trained, we've prepared, and we have the advantage of surprise, Elena said, her voice steady and commanding. Today, humanity strikes back. Lieutenant Raoul nodded. All stealth fighters ready. Ships equipped with upgraded weapons and shields. The prototype tech has been integrated into our systems. We move fast, hit hard, and vanish before they can respond. Dr. Leora Chan added, the prototype can disrupt their energy shields and communications. If used correctly, it will give us the upper hand. Elena's eyes shone with determination. Then it's time. Let every human alive know. Betrayal may have struck us, but humanity is not broken. We fight back, and we take what is ours. The fleet moved through the asteroid belt, cloaked in shadows. Every pilot, soldier, and engineer knew the stakes. This was more than a strike. It was a statement. Humanity was alive, clever, and united. As they approached the Vyrin fleet, sensors detected enemy patrols. Tessa Kwan, the lead pilot, guided the stealth fighters with precision. Stay in formation. Avoid detection until we reach the outer perimeter. Suddenly, the Vyrin fleet detected anomalies. Alarms blared across their ships. The humans had been spotted, but too late. Using the prototype technology, human fighters disrupted the Vyrin energy shields, causing confusion and chaos. Turrets misfired. Sensors went blind, and enemy formations collapsed. Elena's voice rang through the comms. Now! Strike their supply lines and command ships simultaneously. Focus on disabling, not just destroying. Explosions lit the void of space as human ships struck key targets. Supply depots ignited, command ships were damaged, and communication lines were severed. The Vyrin, confident in their power, had not expected such a coordinated and precise counterattack. In the midst of battle, Lieutenant Jaren led a squadron to intercept enemy reinforcements. Their fighters weaved through heavy fire, using asteroid debris for cover. One by one, Vyrin ships were disabled, either through human skill or the prototype tech that disrupted their systems. On the Aegis, Elena monitored the fight. We've caught them off guard, she said, eyes narrowing. Keep pressure on. Every second counts. Do not let them regroup. The humans fought with courage and precision. Every strike was calculated, every movement designed to maximize damage and minimize risk. And for the first time since the betrayal, humans were winning. But victory came with cost. Some ships were lost, pilots injured, and explosions shook the fleet. Elena felt the weight of every life lost, yet she knew these sacrifices were necessary to reclaim humanity's future. As the battle reached its climax, human fighters penetrated the Vyrin command ship. Using the prototype tech, they disabled the ship's shields and communications. Explosions ripped through the vessel, signaling the turning point of the war. Elena's voice was firm, but proud. Humanity is striking back. We are clever, brave, and relentless. The Vyrin may have betrayed us, but they will now learn the true power of humans. Back at Delta 7, the hidden survivors watched as transmissions from the strike team showed the chaos in the Vyrin fleet. Cheers erupted, tears were shed, and hope burned brighter than ever. Humanity had proven it could fight back, even against overwhelming odds. The battle ended with human forces retreating strategically, leaving the Vyrin fleet in disarray. The humans had gained the upper hand, captured intelligence, and demonstrated their power. Elena stood on the cliffs of Delta 7, staring at the stars. They thought betrayal would end us, but it only made us stronger. Humanity is rising, and the galaxy will remember our name. This is not the end. It is only the beginning. As the night settled, the survivors repaired their ships, treated the wounded, and planned for the next move. The Vyrin would regroup, yes, but humanity had shown its strength. The tide of war was shifting, and the galaxy would soon witness the true rise of mankind. The galaxy was on the edge of chaos. The Vyrin fleet, once powerful and untouchable, was now in disarray. Humanity had struck back, capturing supply lines, sabotaging command ships, and even using alien technology against its creators. Captain Elena Ward stood on the bridge of the Aegis, gazing at the holographic map of the Vyrin home system. "This is it," she said, voice steady but firm. "Everything we've fought for leads to this moment. Today, humanity takes back what was stolen. Today, we end the betrayal." Lieutenant Raoul checked the final systems. All ships ready. Prototype tech fully integrated. Stealth fighters, combat ships, and bombers in position. We strike simultaneously from multiple angles. The element of surprise is ours. Elena nodded. Then we move. For every life lost, for every colony destroyed, humanity rises today. The human fleet moved like a shadow through space, cloaked in the darkness of distant stars. For the first time, fear was not the driver. It was determination. Every pilot, soldier, and engineer knew that this attack was more than revenge. It was survival, honor, and the future of their species. As they approached the Vyrin homeworld, the fleet split into strategic groups. Stealth fighters disabled outer defenses. Bombers targeted energy cores, and human command ships led the main assault. Using the prototype weapon, humans disrupted the Vyrin shields and communications, causing confusion and chaos across the fleet. Inside the Vyrin command center, panic erupted. The Council had never anticipated such a coordinated and fearless attack. Their ships were falling, supply lines were destroyed, and their advanced systems were compromised by the very technology they had created. Elena's voice echoed through the human comms. "Strike with precision. Disable. Don't destroy where possible. Take control. Humanity will not destroy unnecessarily, but we will reclaim what is ours." The first wave of stealth fighters infiltrated the Vyrin command hub. Using advanced hacking techniques, they seized control of the main systems. Shields went down, weapons were neutralized, and the alien fleet could do nothing to stop the human advance. On the surface of the Vyrin homeworld, humans deployed landing squads. Soldiers moved quickly, capturing key installations and securing the planet. The alien population, once confident in their superiority, now faced the reality of human intelligence, strategy, and unity. Back in orbit, the battle raged. Explosions lit the void of space as human forces disabled the remaining Vyrin ships. Every maneuver was calculated, every attack deliberate. Humanity was no longer fighting merely to survive. They were reclaiming the galaxy they had once called home. Lieutenant Jaren reported, voice trembling with exhilaration. "Captain, the Vyrin Council is surrendering. They are powerless. The fleet is ours. We've done it." Elena felt a wave of relief mixed with triumph. This is the moment humanity proves that betrayal cannot break us. We are stronger, united, and relentless. Humanity survives. Humanity rises. The human fleet gathered over the Vyrin homeworld, signaling victory. The captured alien technology ensured the Vyrin could not strike back, and humans quickly established control over the system. Colonies that had once suffered under Vyrin dominance were now free. Communication lines were restored, and survivors across the galaxy could finally breathe. Elena stood on the Aegis bridge, looking at the stars. Her mind reflected on the long journey. The betrayal, the hidden survivors, the first strike, and the turning point. Humanity had endured pain, loss, and fear, but it had also shown courage, intelligence, and unity. Dr. Leora Chan approached her. "Captain, we can now rebuild. The technology, the knowledge, everything we captured, it will ensure humanity thrives, stronger than ever." Elena smiled, a mix of exhaustion and pride. "We survived. We fought. And we reclaimed what is ours. The galaxy will remember that humanity does not bow, even when betrayed." On the surface of Delta, 7 in every hidden colony. Survivors celebrated. The rebellion had succeeded. Humanity had struck back with precision, courage, and determination, proving that even against the most powerful enemies, they could rise. In the distance, the stars seemed brighter. The void of space no longer felt empty or threatening. It felt full of promise. Humanity had endured betrayal, survived near extinction, and now stood as a united force, ready to face the future. Elena's voice, quiet but resolute, echoed across the galaxy. "They betrayed us, but humanity stood taller than ever. This is our victory. This is our rise. And from now on, no one will ever underestimate the power of humankind." The galaxy had changed forever. Humanity had survived the ultimate betrayal, learned from it, and struck back with unstoppable force. The stars were theirs once again, not just to inhabit, but to defend and shape. And so, the saga of betrayal, survival, and revenge came to a close, for now. But the legacy of courage, strategy, and unity would live on, inspiring generations of humans to come.